Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, that is the R in the RK Stumblingbear, and I'm a reader and a writer. And today I'm doing the Bookaholics Anonymous tag. I saw this tag by Eric over at Break Even Books. So this tag has been in my vault for a while, and I think he found the tag on a website. So I will link all of that information below with the questions. So question number 1, what do I like about buying new books? I like having just books on my shelf to give me endless possibilities of what I can read. That really is a main draw for me because I never know what mood I'm going to be in. Am I going to be in a sci-fi mood? Am I going to be in a fantasy mood? Am I going to be in a certain type of one of those genre moods? I don't know. And so I like having lots of possibilities on my shelf. I mean, at this point, my Goodreads what to read list is in the multiple thousand digits, and I'm okay with that. Question number 2, how often do you buy new books? And I think my average this year is maybe once a month I'll get a new book or 2. For many, many years, I was on a book buying ban because we just didn't have the money for that extra. Because to me, books are a luxury. And I do have a really good library system here. So that's why I was able to do it that way. So these books, yeah. So I still try not to go on book buying sprees because how fast am I reading my physical TBR? It depends. It really depends. This year I think I've actually done better. I don't keep count of my physical TBR, but I definitely have seen movement moving around my books. Question number 3, bookstore or online shopping? And I prefer going into a bookstore. I want the tactile experience of actually touching the books. I will use an online bookstore if I can't find what I need, or if my local indie bookstore can't order it in for me. Then I will use an online bookstore. But for me, because books are luxury, they're joy, I don't mind spending a little bit more on my indie bookstore to get a book in. And number 4, do I have a favorite bookshop? Not necessarily. My indie bookstore is called The Raven, and I do use them a lot. There's also a used bookstore called the Dusty Bookshelf in town, which I've gone to as well. I'm not particular. I know in August I had to go to a conference in another town, and I knew there was an indie bookstore nearby where my conference was. And so I rewarded myself for going to the conference. It was a 2-day conference, and I went and bought myself 2 books at their indie bookstore. So, no, I'm not particular about where I go. Number 5, do I pre-order books? Rarely. I like using the library to kind of like try out books, so I don't pre-order a lot. Now, however, I do have a couple of books that were just 5 stars for me, the first ones in the series, and so then I will pre-order the second in the series so that I get those. So I've started to become more about pre-ordering. 6, do I have a monthly book buying limit? Not really. Like I said, I try to only buy maybe 1 or 2 a month, but it's not a hard, fast rule. If I go to a library book sale and I have $5, I'm going to get a whole bunch because if they're mass market paperback, I think they're like 50 cents. And that's my preferred. That's how I filled up these 2 shelves right here. So I'd gone to some library sales, and that's why now I'm like, okay, I need to pull back. But because I'm intentionally asking myself all the time, do you really need this book? How fast are you really going to read it? And is this something you think that you're going to reread? I don't have a book buying problem. So I have no monthly book limit. Number 7, book buying bans. Are they something for you? And I believe if you don't have money to spend on books, then yes, you should not be buying books. You should be trying to use your library or rereading. Rereading's not a bad thing at all. Like I said, for many years, I was on a book buying ban because I didn't have the space and I didn't have the money. So I did a lot of rereading and I used my library. Now I understand not everybody's library is as fantastic as mine is, but I think sometimes that means you get to be more adventurous on finding what is at your library. Number 8, how big is your wish list? That's a great question. I have not kept a wish list for a really long time, so I'm not certain. I would have to go through the one that I was keeping, and this might have to be information I put up on the screen later. But maybe also I will collate this into a list with one of the indie book selling sites, and if you want to send me a book, you can. And number 9, which 3 books from your wish list do you want to own right now? Again, it would depend on the mood that I am in. And yeah, because I'm not 100% of everything that's on there. I couldn't tell you really. I probably would go with filling in some of the gaps on my Chronicle of Elantra series. I have I only have the first book of the Bone Ships. I want the other 2 to finish off my trilogy. I have read all of these and I know that I will reread them. So I mean, that's really like if I'm buying books that I have, most of the books I buy I have already read, and it's because I'm going to reread them. And what about you, my fellow readers? What are your answers for this going to be? Feel free to tag yourself and do this, and then send me the link so that I can see your answers. Thank you, and have a great day.